And breaking details tonight surrounding a WGAL 8 on Your Side investigation and the use of the Sig Sauer M17 at Letterkenny Army Depot in Franklin County.
Newsday's Tasmin Mahfouz just got some new documents revealing a previous firearms incident at the Army Depot years before the death of Specialist Christopher Lopez. So Tasmin, give us an idea. What are you learning tonight?
So this is a report that I just got. This is a U.S. Army mishap report from May of 2021. And this report and this record confirms a negligent discharge involving a Sig Sauer M17 at Letterkenny 5 years ago on May 29th of 2021. This report shows the M17 discharge when an employee tried to holster the weapon. That employee and a witness say the gun operator did not have their finger on the trigger when the gun went off. Some details are redacted, but here's what we're learning. So at the start of their shift, the gun operator removed their weapon, placing the barrel into a clearing barrel. That employee inspected the gun, inserted a loaded magazine, and released the slide chambering around. The employee then tried to holster the weapon twice, and then on the third attempt, the weapon fired. The report shows a round went through the bottom of the holster into the top of the employee's cargo pocket, struck their wallet, and hit the floor. So I reached out to Letterkenny asking whether any changes were made to safety protocols after this 2021 incident. They did not answer that specific question, just saying it's under investigation. But just to be clear, we are not linking that 2021 incident to the death of Specialist Christopher Lopez. This report only confirms a prior firearms incident involving the same platform gun. Now, regarding Christopher's investigation, questions still remain about that weapon and also safety protocols. So I talked to a gun expert in tonight's 8 on Your Side investigation.
He said, I got training tomorrow. I got gun training tomorrow.
Carmen and Hector Lopez say they knew their son, Specialist Christopher Lopez, was preparing for firearms training because they spoke with him the night before he was killed.
We have told Christopher the Army uses certain guns, and we told him about it. And the M17s, the M18s. But Christopher told us that they wouldn't be using those guns. So I guess we kind of maybe felt at ease at first.
His parents say Christopher was killed with an M17 handgun on his first day of firearms training. Investigators sent that weapon to a ballistics lab in Georgia for testing.
The Sig Sauer P320 family.
We asked firearms expert and mechanical engineer Dr. Joshua Harrison what investigators are likely to look for.
They might be looking for debris. They might check the amount of play between the slide and the frame. They would be checking that all the safety components are there.
He's a licensed pistol and range officer, served in the Marine Corps, and was an Army Field Artillery officer, as well as a tactical and strategic intelligence officer.
This, by comparison, is the slide of a Sig Sauer P320.
Harrison believes the M17's internal safety design is weaker than other handgun systems.
I believe, in my opinion, the striker safety lock of the Sig Sauer P320 or M17 or the military variants, it's this thin metal piece, is grossly inferior to the striker safety block plunger of a Glock or even the Sig Sauer P365.
He says the gun going off by itself is rare. Harrison believes the Army made a mistake in choosing the M17 because of its design.
This thing that I'm holding is the only safety in the M17.
Based in California, Harrison walked us through the M17's design over a video call.
That spring in the M17, it's what actuates this striker safety lock into the safe position. You see that little part that sticks up there? That's the only portion that actually interferes with the striker.
In January of 2017, Sig Sauer won a 10-year, $580 million contract with the U.S. military to replace the Beretta M9 with the P320 platform, including the M17.
A lot of people were saying that the Army made the wrong choice going with the Sig Sauer rather than the Glock.
We reached out to Sig Sauer multiple times for comment. They did not get back to us by the time we filed this report. But on its website, they call the P320 one of the safest and dependable pistols in the world.
The firing mechanism of the Sig Sauer P320 pistol has several safety features that prevent the pistol from firing unless the trigger is pressed.
If they find nothing wrong with the handgun and all the parts were there, and it wasn't dirty, and there's no tolerant stuck-up problems. More likely, a training protocol wasn't followed.
We asked officials at Letterkenny Army Depot about their safety and training protocols involving live ammunition. Public Affairs Specialist Todd Wyvil told us in an email, live ammunition training at Letterkenny Army Depot is governed by stringent Department of the Army regulations and specific local protocols to ensure maximum safety for personnel and the surrounding community. We also looked at published regulations that Letterkenny uses for safety and training. In that manual, it says, before granting clearance to fire, ensure that weapons and personnel are properly positioned. In the end, Harrison says investigators will likely look at two core questions: whether there was a problem with the gun and whether a loaded weapon was ever allowed to point at a soldier during training.
Generally, if you've got a loaded weapon, it shouldn't be pointed at another soldier, especially in a controlled training environment.
Still, Harrison doesn't think military safety checks need changed. He says existing rules should prevent a tragedy like this.
The muzzle should never be pointed at another soldier. That's basic. This should not happen even under current military training protocols.
So I also reviewed the Army's training and qualification standards for the M17 pistol before even reaching the live fire training. Soldiers must complete multiple safety steps. That's including weapons handling and ammunition instruction, also dry fire training, simulator work, and range safety briefings. And remember that 6-hour contract that we mentioned, that 10-year contract, it actually expires next year. So I reached out to the Army and I asked them, among the many questions that I've asked, if they will consider changing weapons in next year's contract. I'm still waiting to hear back.
Okay. You've uncovered a lot. I know you keep on top of it, too.
Yeah.
All right, Thusmeen, thank you.
Thank you, Thusmeen.